now we are joined by UFC bantamweight Johnny Munoz, who fights Jamey Simmons at UFC 265. Derek Lewis versus Cyril Gain. And first off, Johnny, this is a fight that was scheduled originally in April after Max Striegel had withdrew. I'm not sure what he withdrew with. And now it's been almost a year since you fought. How frustrating has it been with 2 fight cancellations? And, you know, it's been a year since UFC debut and a year since you have been able to avenge that loss. How frustrating has it been?
Yeah, man, it's been very frustrating not being able to fight, stay active. You know, this is what I do. I train super hard to fight and be able to showcase my skills and my ability to people. So, of course, it's been frustrating, but I've been trying to be positive. I feel everything happens for a reason. And I feel like this year off, I've really grown a lot as a person, as a fighter. And that's why August 7th, I'm excited to showcase everything I've been working on this last year. So I'm excited for that.
And how much preparation had you done towards Simmons already? Because you were scheduled to face him in April as a replacement for Max Striegel. So how much preparation had you done already for him back then?
Yeah, I was preparing. You know, the main thing I view like preparation, you got to know who you're fighting, what you're up against, of course, very important. But also you got to make sure you're right mentally, physically. Are you healthy? Are you prepared to showcase the best version of you? So that's what I really focus on, because I need to make sure I show up. You know what I mean? If I show up as the best Johnny Munoz, there's nobody that's going to beat me. So that's what's very important. I need to show up 100% ready, focused. And that's what I'm going to do August 7th.
Do you feel like you're the best version of yourself right now?
I definitely feel like it's the best version of me. That's why I'm super excited, and I can't wait to show everybody, because I know what I could do now, and I just want to show everybody. I think people need to know what I could do. That's why I'm super excited for this fight.
And what do you make of Jamey Simmons as an opponent?
Yeah, he's a tough opponent. You know, every opponent's a tough opponent. You know, especially if you're in the UFC, you got there for a reason. You know what I mean? You obviously racked up some wins in the regional scene to get to that point. So you got to respect everybody that's in the UFC. Everybody's in there tough. They're trying to prove something. So I respect them. But August 7th, I'm going to show why I'm the better fighter. And I know I'm the better fighter. And that everybody's going to see on that date, come fight day.
And it's been almost a year. Well, it will be a year once you enter the octagon since your UFC debut. How do you reflect on that debut now, having had some time? Probably you've watched it a few times. You know, it was a very close fight. And most people, I think, had you winning or at least drawing that fight. How do you assess it?
Yeah, that's what I think too. Like most people thought I won or the draw. That's what I thought it was going to, but like I can't change any of that. But yeah, I look back on the fight. I thought I won. I thought I did enough, but still, it wasn't the best version that I could show to people. I know I'm way better than that what I showed. But considering that was a day notice, I thought I did enough to pull that off in the bag. But yeah, I think it's really made me grow, man. Like all these things, you know, I look at the positive in it, and I feel like it's really made me grow as a fighter and be able to see things. You know, that sometimes people, they'll take their first loss and they go in a depression phase. They don't know how to respond to it. With me, I was never depressed. Obviously, I was bummed out, but I don't feel any different than when I did when I was undefeated. You know what I mean? I still know what I could do, and I really want to showcase. That's why this fight, I have a lot to prove. I think too, because I came from a jiu-jitsu background, I've competed tons of tournaments, Pan Am's, Worlds, and in jiu-jitsu, there's so many tournaments you take losses. You know, it's impossible to be undefeated. So I've taken losses in grappling tournaments. So I think that's why I knew how to respond to it. I hate losing. Like I'm a sore loser deep inside, but I know how to respond to it, get back on the horse, and train to become better.
And despite how you are now no longer undefeated, do you still feel like you are undefeated inside in the way the fight played out? And also, is it disappointing to lose that 0 in your record in that kind of fashion where it's a close fight and it's a bit controversial?
Yeah, for sure. It's controversial, but I always look, like the ones there. But I think the real people of the sport, they analyze, they look into it, they'll know, oh, well, you know, it was a controversial loss. Like, so they'll make the judgment call of that. You know what I mean? I look at some fighters that have one loss on their record, and there's quite a few of them where it's a very controversial. So the real people know, like, oh, that guy's he's a force to be reckoned with. But at the same time, I mean, you look, there's fighters that have way more than one loss, and like they're very good. So I don't think a loss defines you. It's supposed to make you better. How can you respond to it? But yeah, man, I just need to prove to everybody what I can do August 7th. So I'm not gonna let that hold me back.
It was a difficult first opponent for the UFC to introduce you in against another fellow prospect. At the end of that first round, you were very, very close to finishing him. How close do you feel like you were to finishing the fight right there?
Yeah, I thought the ref was gonna stop it, but then I was out there. There's not a lot of time left. But if you look at, it's funny because so the highlight of that clip, a lot of people when they look at it, oh, like he won. You know what I mean? It looked like he got finished. But I was, oh no, I didn't win the fight. They're like, oh, you finished the guy. I was like, no. Yeah, they didn't stop the fight. I mean, the fight probably, if you look at some stoppages, like some stoppages end like sooner, like that fight, if it was another ref, maybe it would have been stopped, but obviously we can't change that. All I know in that fight, if you look at that fight, I had the most highlights in that fight. Like to make a highlight video out of it, like all the highlights were mine. Well, what did he do that he could post that was a highlight? You know what I mean? His back was on the cage. He was on the floor. I took him down. So yeah, I mean, I got some good highlights in there, but still, it wasn't the best Johnny Munoz I could show. And yeah, like I can't change any of that, but I know that I'm gonna showcase a better version of myself in the future.
And what exactly did you take away from that fight and learn from that fight, from your debut in the UFC, that you can take into this fight and put as a better version of yourself on the show?
Yeah, I think just overall, just believe in my ability. I mean, it's tough to say. That was the first time I took a last minute fight, or first time I took a late fight like that. Without preparation. So that was one thing. I've always been a person to prepare. To fight, you got to prepare mentally. I know there's some guys that take short notice fights, but like to me, it's war in there. It's like the art of war. You got to know your opponent, prepare for the battle, mindset, physically. Not to say I wouldn't do that again. Like I wouldn't take nothing back. It was a cool experience. That's where everything happens for a reason. But yeah, definitely, I think I feel better preparing for a contest, preparing for a set date that I know I'm going to go to war in there.
Is a short notice fight something that you'd have to put a bit more thinking into it in the future now, knowing how that last fight went?
Well, yeah, I mean, now I'm in the UFC, so I mean, I worked hard to get here, so I want preparation for a contest, and obviously, the more you climb up, you're going to be more value to the company. So what's the point of taking last minute fights? Unless maybe they're paying you a crap ton of money, but it all depends. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to do certain things to better yourself in your career. So if it's taking a short notice fight going to be good or bad for your career, it all depends.
And it'll be, of course, UFC 265. It's a pay-per-view card, which means you will fight in front of fans. So really, this will kind of be your first experience in UFC, the true, real experience in UFC. How excited are you to fight in front of fans in UFC?
No, I'm super excited. So I'm going to be able to experience like the whole thing, like the fight week. Cause I had it was a day notice. So I was only there Friday. I didn't get the whole fight week. I was at the Apex, no fans. So this I'm looking forward to be able to fight in front of fans. The walkout is something I keep visualizing in my head. So I'm super excited for that. And I feel like I perform well in front of people watching me and under pressure. So I'm super excited.
Obviously, it depends on how the fight goes, but how active do you want to be in the future? Will you have a push enough fight in this year, or what are you looking at?
Yeah, I'd like to get one more fight before the end of the year, for sure. Obviously, I got to focus on this fight. I don't like to look past the fight that's the task at hand. But yeah, for sure, I would like to be more active. I was hoping I already have a few fights this year, but like I said, everything happens for a reason. So I'm taking care of business August 7th. And then we're going to move on from there and then look forward to the next contest.
And just before I let you go, can we just get an official prediction for you with how your fight against Jamey Simmons will go?
Yeah, so expect to see, the best version of me. I'm going to go in there and finish him, whether it be by submission or knockout. I see it going both ways. So expect to see a great finish in there, and it's going to go viral.
So the prediction is it will go viral. Thank you very much, and all the best at UFC 265 with your fight against Jamey Simmons.
Thanks for having me, and I appreciate you doing this, interviewing the fighters. Make sure you guys tune in, watch this, follow the account. Let's go.